Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in today. So today we're going to go into a video a little bit different than most of the other videos on this channel previous to this one. And in this video, I'm going to actually talk to you about the different practices of Zen Wara. And the different practices of the Wara involve different elements, which I've detailed actually in other videos, including, the practice of the stillness of the mind, which is classic in yoga, which is found in other traditions of yoga and meditation. But in the practice of Zenwara, we're talking also about meditating with the gaze, whether that be using in focus or out of focus gaze to practice. We're talking about the stillness of the mind. We're talking about also maintaining an asana or a posture. We're talking about also the breath, right? And this video is going to focus on the breath. Okay, so maybe I'll entitle this video "The Practice of the Breath in Zenwara." Okay, so the practice of the breath is a fundamental practice of Zenwara. As you know, and I don't hide this fact at all. I am an avatar, right? So as an avatar, I know basically the yoga of the gods. Okay, and specifically my version of it, my form of yoga, which is my own tradition of yoga, which is Zenwara. Okay, so what I'm going to teach you today, and maybe I'll actually change the name to this video, the Yoga of the Gods. But I'll explain basically one practice that you can follow, that you can learn. If you do decide that you want to practice Zenwara, okay, and its practices, one practice that you can practice, and this is the breath of the gods, the yoga of the gods. Okay, it's actually very quite simple, but it's remarkable in the wonder and where it can bring you. It can actually basically bring you to any possibility in life. Okay, it is basically the most advanced form of yoga. Okay, there are other forms that are as advanced in Zen world. Maybe I'll have some videos on that. For example, meditating with movement, using the Kundalini movements, and basically, and the breath, and the gaze, and the stillness, and the center line, and all these different things at the same time, and combining all that into the moving practice as well. But one of the practice you can practice is the practice of sitting practice with the breath. Okay, and this is the practice we'll talk about. So this is basically the breath of Zenwara. Okay, the breath of the gods. Okay, and who brings it to you basically? The gods of Kailash Mountain. Okay, Kailash Mountain, which is also known as the Wall of the Gods. Okay, we know that on different sides, there's the side of the woman gods and the side of the male gods. And if you go back into some of these other videos on this channel, you'll see the history of humankind as humankind worshipped at the wall a long time ago. Okay, so let's get to the practice. Okay, the practice of the breath of the gods. Okay, the breath of the gods is very simple. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to start practicing this way. Your first step of practice is to practice with the 4-second breath. Okay, so what you're going to do, and I've talked about this also in other channels, but it's going to go more into advanced levels as well. So what you do now is you're going to start breathing, and we'll do it together. It's going to be a count of 4 seconds. So 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds out, 4 seconds no breath. Repeat. And we're going to do it now 3 times. That's the first step. What you're also going to practice with is breathing from the stomach as well. Okay, eventually. Okay. Now, the second step. What you want to do is you want to maintain your practice of the first step all through your practice. Okay? You always want to practice the 4 steps. But then what you're going to start doing is you're also going to start adding the 5 step. So for every count, you now count to 5. Then you're going to go to 6 step. For every count, you go to 6. But you're also practicing the 4 step, maintaining that as well. Now you're going to go to the 7, the 8, the 9th. So you're going to gradually build up. There's no rush. When you feel comfortable to go to the next one, don't try to jump. That's not what I told you to do. You practice building up from the 4 all the way to the 10-second breath, the 10 count. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to practice. I'm going to show you. And I know I told you not to jump, but for this time here, give it a try. Okay? Try the 10-second. And you'll see there'll come to a point where you might not be able to pull in breath anymore or exhale breath anymore. We'll continue anyways. And see what happens, and you'll see that as you practice more and more, okay, you'll notice that you'll be able to see something happen there. Okay? So what we're going to do, we won't do all the 6, the 7, the 8, all that, okay, the 5, but we'll do the 10, okay, just for fun, okay? But after that, when you practice, the idea is that you start with the practice of 4, you maintain the practice of 4. So basically you split your time between the practice of the 4-second breath, your meditation time, and yoga practice time. And then you basically have your other half of that time that you allocate to that to practice where you are now at, going up from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and all the way to 10. Okay? And you're going to see what's going to happen. Okay? How long do you want to spend before you move on to the next number? Okay? That's a great question. Okay? And the answer is you're going to see the change in your breath as you practice. And every time you see a major change and development in your breath, move on to the next count. So now you're not going to get the full benefit of the 10th count by just doing the 10 count now. But we're going to try it together, and we're just going to do it once. Okay? Okay. Now, what is this? This is the breath of the gods. Okay, it's a specific yoga practice of Zen Wara. Okay, so remember, your regular practice, which is the fundamental breath practice of Zen Wara, we've talked about this in other videos, the 4-second count. But now we're bringing it to more advanced practice. Okay, and it's this achievement through the different breaths and counts of breaths, which will coincide with your achievements in spirituality and in the material world as well, as all the avenues and all the doors will open for you, and all the wonders of creation and the potentials for your story will open themselves to you, and you will know how to take the path to have the most wonderful story for yourself. Okay? A story of happiness and joy and wonder. And this is the secrets, one of the secrets of Zen Wara is the breath of the gods. Okay, so once again, maintain the 4 count, but practice also now going up the count to the 10 count, and from the 10 count, practice the 10 count, and stay at the 10 count for a while. Okay, Now you can say, well, what about going to the 11 count, the 12 count, the 13 count? Right? You can take that approach if you want, or you take the time it takes to get to 10. Thanks for listening.